Hi, this is Christy coming to you live here at PSA. And today's topic is going to be about pitching checkpoints. So this is something that we don't necessarily always talk to our pitchers about. And sometimes it's just because we don't have the information. As a rec ball coach, it's something maybe that you don't think about often. And again, if you're not a pitcher, it's something that you don't know because you've never been in the circle before. So I talk with my pitchers a lot about this circle and how the circle has, it's either the circle of death or it's a circle of ownership. And so the circle itself has a shape, right? It's a circle, which also is a letter, and it's the letter O. And we talk about the letter O as ownership. So the moment you step in that circle, it's all about ownership, that you own the mound, you own everything that happens inside of that mound, your accountability, your responsibility, the ownership over every single pitch, every movement, everything that happens in there. So what happens the moment that you step on the mound or in that circle? Now, just like in hitting, we have a routine, okay? Everything that you do. Softball, well, everybody knows, we're very, very superstitious in what we do. In pitching, we want to have a routine, but we also want to have a rhythm, okay? And that rhythm is what takes us through our tempo. It takes us through a pattern, and it's what builds our consistency and our confidence on the mound, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through what I teach with our checkpoints, and this teaches our students to build all of that while also adhering to all of the rules per se of what you need to do before each pitch. So pitching checkpoint number 1. And so I've got it behind me, but I'm going to actually walk you through it. So pitching checkpoint number 1. This all happens behind the mound. Is we're going to take a really good deep cleansing breath. And so you don't want them to take a pant. It's a good deep breath. While we're doing that breath, we are now eyes 100% at our catcher. And during that breath, and you'll notice that I'm going to combine a couple of these together, I am also going to now be accepting my signal. So my eyes are at my catcher or my coach, whoever I'm looking at, because we may be accepting the signal from our coach in the dugout or from our catcher. So I'm taking my breath and I'm accepting. Now, if you are 12 and older, you are now also doing what's called a body scan. And a body scan is something where you are just now very briefly, if you haven't already done it before this first pitch, this is before the first pitch, you're going to body scan. You're just going to take a look at the batter very, very, very quickly. See how tall she is, see where she's standing in the box, see if there's anything that you just need to know. You only need to do that body scan one time, and that's before the first pitch. Everything else happens every single pitch. So we've now done our body scan. The very next thing is that we're going to present. So we're going to show the ball. We step on the mound while showing the ball. Okay, now we're going to go into our set position, ball in the glove. From here, now we go into our visualization and our focus. While we are going into our visualization and our focus, which is when we see where we want the ball to go, perhaps we see the movement, where we want that ball to go, where we want that ball to move to. If it's a curve ball, we visualize that ball curving and breaking. Maybe we just see where we want it to actually finish. Maybe we see in our head and in our mind the best curveball we've ever thrown, or we've done it so many times, we just know what it looks like. And so we visualize it happening over and over. And so the moment we step on there it goes, and it's curving. The feeling. This one is, in my mind, one of the most important ones, because the moment you step onto the mound, okay, there is a feeling. It's not something I can teach. It's not something anybody can teach, okay, because it comes from inside. This is the mind, the heart, and the gut, things that I talk a lot about. But this is the feeling of the pitch, okay? This is the feeling of the very best pitch you've ever done. It's the memory. It's the muscle memory of putting it all together. So the visualization, the feeling, the focus, all of this comes as we're putting our set together, okay? And then we take another big second breath. And on that exhale, we have committed and we are starting our pitch. So I like to go ahead and start my actual pitch on the exhale because you don't want to be tensed up. So you want to actually start moving on an exhale. Now, during all of that, that's a 5 to 7 second process, okay? All of that doesn't take 10, 15 seconds. It's 5 to 7 seconds. And then we go through all of that again and we analyze, we adjust, and repeat every pitch. Now, let's say that the pitch was not a good pitch, okay, which it's going to happen, right? We don't want to overanalyze. We want to say, okay, that was a drop ball and it didn't quite do exactly what I wanted it to do. So I'm going to think of one adjustment and one adjustment only. And that's happening while I'm going to catch the ball from the catcher, while I'm walking back. But my thought process now, it turns off by the time I get back behind the mound. So I'm back behind the mound now, and now I turn off that thought process because I do not need to be thinking about mechanics at all when I'm approaching the mound. And then guess what happens again? Now I go through it again. So deep breath. And then I go through all of my steps. Presentation. And then as I'm setting, I'm doing my visualization, my feel, my focus. Okay? And then after I do that, and that's the part that if you're working with your students, or if you're a pitcher right now and you're listening to this or you're watching this, that's going to be the hardest part, is learning the feeling and trusting the feeling. And you're going to learn that feeling either during one of your pitching practices, during a game, and it might be that big strikeout. Like I can tell you right now that one of my, the memories that I hold the most of, they are of big strikeouts because it's that moment. And I can run through, 1,000 strikeouts in my head, but it's because they're all going to that same spot. Okay, now I use the word spot and not location, okay, because as you grow and as you mature as a pitcher, what happens is that your location, okay, my low and outside location shrinks to a spot, okay? And what I mean by that is your catcher, okay? So I've got my catcher right here. Your catcher should be able to very slowly move her glove to a very specific spot. Let me show you this. So if I have got, okay, my four corners, and I'm just going to draw this out right now. So I'm just going to put high and outside, high and inside, low and outside, low and inside. Okay, so I've got my four corners. Now, like I just mentioned, okay, these are your locations. Okay, we need you to be able to hit your locations, 8s, 10s, first year 12s. Growing up, everybody needs to be able to hit in their locations. As we get older, you're going to find a spot. That's your spot. And then you own that spot. Now, once you get this spot right there, and that's your spot, all of this comes into play. Because now you're going to visualize this spot. That's where your eyes go. You'll remember, you'll feel what it felt like when you hit that spot. Okay? Your visualization and your feeling all will go there. Okay? So when you're accepting the signal and you get a signal and it's a curveball, it's a drop ball, it's a fastball, it's a changeup, whatever the pitch may be, and it's a low and outside, you know exactly where it's going. Now, I did, unfortunately, put the spot in a really bad spot because, as we can see right here, this is way too close to anywhere that I would ever want you to pitch it because it's right down the middle. So like my spot would actually probably be like right about there. It'd be off the plate. So just realize that my spot where I just drew it, no bueno. Okay, so as you grow, as we mature and you develop, and you hear me use those words all of the time, I want you to start to find or think about your spots. Where could your spots be? It might take you a long time to find them. A lot of times we don't even find them until we're in our 14s, 14U. Okay, however, you are never too young to start doing these, okay? Start with your presentation. So start with from your presentation to your set, start to really focus, tunnel vision, focus and zone in on your catcher's glove, okay? Now, if you want to start to get a little crazy, and once you feel like you're really starting to understand your focus, okay, and you feel like you're really, really zoned in and you've got it, what I want you to do is to create some distractions. So invite your brother, your sister, invite your best friends, your teammates, whoever, and have them get right behind that bow net. And when they're behind that bow net, let them go crazy. Let them have fun and let them go crazy, and challenge yourself not to see them, because then you know that you're locked in. And now your visualization, your focus, you're not distracted. And when you can get to that level, okay, you are locked in, okay? And that's where you want to be as a pitcher. So it takes a lot of hard work and a lot of dedication and a lot of commitment, but if you can get there and you can just take baby steps and work on it every day, you will be taking yourself from becoming a good pitcher to a great pitcher. So create your routine, develop yourself, and trust yourself. And with all of that being said, start working on your pitching checkpoints. I'm proud of you for listening. I'm proud of you for watching. Keep working on yourself, and I'll see you next time here on PSA Chat. Dream big, and as always, work hard.